So, Aiden, I'm going to invite your parents to come up. They're going to give you a very special tallis, a gift from your grandparents, Nikki and Gil. Are they online? Yeah. So, Nikki and Gil, you want to unmute and say Mazel Tov to your grandson? There we go. Good job. All right. So we're going to have Mom and Dad do the Shechianu blessing for new and joyous occasion. Put the tallis on Aiden's shoulders. He'll have the blessing for the tallis.
Before this congregation, in the presence of our loved ones, we present our son, Aiden, to become a member of the select congregation of the Jewish people. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has granted us life, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this joyous occasion.
Amen. We'll put the tallis on Aiden's shoulders. He'll recite the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishan b'mitzvotav, b'tzivanu v'hi atzef b'tzitzit.
Amen. All right, Aiden, lots of hugs and kisses for all of us who can't do it. Mazel Tov. And we'll let Mom and Dad make their way back to their seats. We're going to open up the blue prayer books. They go right to left, as does the direction in Hebrew. There's some books on the table up there if you need them, or behind the pews. We're on pages 556, 558. These are verses from the book of Psalms, Ashrei.
Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha, Od Yahalu HaSelah.
Ashrei Am Shabbat Ashrei Am Shanai
Tehillat Adonai Yedzaber Pi, Vivarech Kol Basar, Shem Kadsho Leolam Va'ed.
Ve'anachnu nevarech Yam Yata Ve'adolam. Hallelujah. Page 564, Hatzi Kaddish.
Yekada Ve'yekadash Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma Divra Hirute, Be'amlich Malchute, Be'hayehan U'vyomehan U'chayezecho Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, Ba'agala, U'vizman Kariv, Ve'imiru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah B'Torah, Ve'olam Olmei Hamaya, Yitzbarach, Ve'yitchabah, Ve'yitpar, Ve'yitraman, Ve'yitnaseh, Ve'yithadar, Ve'yitaleh, Ve'yithalah, Shmei Dekudashah,
B'richu.
Le'ela min kol birata, Bishirata,
Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiram Be'alma V'yimeru. So the heart of the Sabbath Mincha service is our Torah service, the sacred reading from our Torah. But before we have that opportunity, we're going to ask Aiden to observe the minhag, the custom of one who's about to become Bar Mitzvah. Aiden, you're going to share with us your Devar Torah, your interpretation of this week's reading.
Good afternoon, Shabbat Shalom. My Torah portion is called V'zot HaBracha. It is taken from the book of Deuteronomy. This portion is about the ending of Moses' life. God has told him that it is time to go. He is 120 years old. Moses is buried somewhere in the valley in the land of Moab. He is mourned for 30 days. Moses is the last prophet to know God face to face. I found Moses' impact on the Israelites very interesting. I know that he has made an impact because he is still remembered by the Jewish people today. When he was told that it was time to go, he knew what was required of him as a patriarch. He drew in his tribes and passed on the future to them. He didn't only pass on the future, he also gave them a sense of their past. We learn a few lessons from this part of the Torah. We learned that what starts with birth ends with death. Because of this, we gain respect for creation. We recognize the grace of life. However, in our modern world, we never really realize how rare and special it is to be on this planet. Instead, commonly, people in this world take things for granted. For my Mitzvah project, I worked with the organization Midnight Run. We traveled to 5 different locations across New York City, giving the poor and homeless food and clothes. I donated some of my own clothes, and they helped prepare the food. When they saw us, they became so excited and were extremely thankful for our support. Helping them made me feel good about myself. From this, I've learned the importance of giving back. Also, this experience has made me more and more grateful each day. After seeing all those people, I realized how fortunate I truly am. In conclusion, I'd like to thank all the people that have helped me get here. I'd like to thank Ezra for tutoring me every week and making sure that I was the most prepared for this day. Also, thank you, Cantor Sandy, for guiding me to make sure that I was also ready for today. I'd also like to thank Rabbi Mitch for teaching me the important values and principles of being a Jew. And thank you to all of you who are here in person and those who are watching my service on Zoom who couldn't be here with me today. Finally, I'd like to thank all my friends and my family, especially my mom, dad, brother, and sister. Thank you to Mom, Dad, Rachel, and Jake for guiding me and supporting me through everything. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Aiden, you did a great job. Let's give him a hand. Well done. Yasher Koach. Very nice. So we're going to rise, please, as the ark is open, page 566, Vehi ben Soah ha'aron.
Vayehi ben Soah ha'aron, vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, ve'afusu oivecha, ve'anusu misanecha, mipanecha, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai, Yerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael, B'kedushato.
Glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt God together. Gadlu Adonai iti.
Gadlu Adonai iti. U'neromama Shemo Yachdav. Lecha Adonai ha'gedula, leha-gevura, leha-tiferet, leha-netzah ve'le'od. Ki-ho b'shamayim u'va'aretz, ki-ho b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai ha-mamlacha, v'yamim na'aseh l'chol rosh. Romemu,
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 Adonai Eloheinu, ve'yishacharu, ve'yishacharu, lahadon raglav kadoshu. Romemu,
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 Adonai Eloheinu, ve'yishacharu, ve'yishacharu, lecha kodesho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
And Aiden, I'm just going to go down with your family just for a second so we can let Ezra put the Torah on the table. Everyone can please be seated. As Ezra gets the Torah ready, the grandparents, Vivian and Stephen, are same pod, right? You guys are same pod? Okay, so hang on 1 second. I have you come back up with your grandson so you get your hug and kiss as well, okay? Ezra, you got this down. That's good. Well done. Okay. Let's have the grandparents come up and would you please honor the Aliyah?
Baruch Adonai Havarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Eloheinu.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Baruch Aboinu Mikol Ha'amim. Yet Vatanu Torah Semet. Baruch Atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Bezot habracha asher beirach Moshe ish Elohim et bnei Yisrael lifnei moto v'imar misinai ba bezarah miseir lama ofia mehar paran ve'ata merivevot hodesh mimina ishtas lama afovev amin kol kedushav be'adecha Ve'hem tukud raglecha Yisa midabrotecha.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Natanu Torah Semet. V'chayei Olam Notabas Eloheinu. Baruch Atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen. You guys get your hugs and kisses. Make your way back. And Aiden will keep you up here. We got grandparents Nikki and Gil online, so you guys can unmute. You have the honor of the Aliyah.
Bezot habracha asher beirach Moshe ish Elohim et bnei Yisrael lifnei moto v'imar Adonai misinai ba bezarah miseir lama hofia mehar paran ve'ata merivevot hodesh mimino ishtas lama achovev amin kol kedushav be'adecha Ve'hem tukud raglecha Yisa midabrotecha.
Go ahead, second blessing. Amen. All right, wish Mazel Tov to your grandson.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll let you guys mute again. And Jake, what did you say, 7 years? 10 years. Oh my goodness, you kept up your skills, right?
Right.
All right, we're going to find out, all right?
Baruch Adonai Hamvara. Baruch Adonai Hamvara Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam Asher Baruch Banu Mikol Ha'amin V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu
Wait, Jake, let him do his part.
Amen. Torah tzivalanu Moshe Morasha Kehilat Yaakov Vayehi Mishurun Melech V'hitasef Ra'ashayam Yachad Shivtei Yisrael Yehi Reuven V'ayimot V'hi Metav Mizpah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, ve'yeh olam nata b'toheinu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Amen. All right, Jake, give your brother a hug, please, before you leave. Mazel tov. Thank you very much. Okay, Aiden, you go back with your family just for a moment. Kendra's going to share with us our prayer for healing. Please rise as we offer prayers on behalf of loved ones in need of physical or spiritual healing. Misha Berach.
Avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishem berach imotenu mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
May it be God's will to hear our prayers, and let us say Amen. Please be seated. And you come up. Your sister Rachel is online. Rachel, can you say hello? Okay, sweetheart. You got your honor, your Aliyah. Baruch Adonai Hambarach
Baruch Adonai Hamra Le'olam Ba'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Amen. Torah tziva lanu Moshe Morasha Kehilat Yaakov Vayehi Mishurun Melech V'hitasef Ra'ashayam Yachad Shivtei Yisrael Yehi Reuven V'aimot V'hi Metav Mispah.
Go ahead, Rachel.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, ve'hayeh olam nata b'toheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. All right, Rachel, blow your brother some kisses. Wish him mazel tov. Thank you, honey. Nice to have you on with Zoom. It's a silver lining of COVID-19 because wherever people are in the world, we're able to have it. We're trying to coordinate a Bar Mitzvah with a great-grandmother in Australia, and I found out time differences with Australia a little more complicated than Wisconsin, so it makes it a little bit easier. Meryl and David, can we ask you guys to come up in honor of the Aliyah?
Baruch atah Baruch Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vezot lihuda. Vayomar Shema Adonai Kol Yehuda Ve'el Ama Tziviena Yatav Rav Lo Ve'ezir Yitzarav Tihiyeh Ulevi Amar Tumecha Ve'urecha Le'ish Hasidecha Asher Nisito B'masa Terivehu Amen האומר לאביו ולאמו לא ראיתיו, ואת אחיו לא הכיר, ואת בניו לא ידע, כי שמרו אמרתך ובריתך ינצרו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah v'emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Shkoach, Mazel Tov. We're going to keep you guys up here with your son because we're now going to officially call Aiden to Torah as Bar Mitzvah. We're calling up by his Hebrew name, David Yosef ben Simcha Elazar ben Malka Tema. And Aiden, we're asking God to bless you, a life imbued with Torah, a life in which you brought the chuppah, a life of ma'asim tovim, a life of good deeds, and let us say, Amen. Ganner's going to share with you, Aiden, the spiritual charge, the journey you're about to take. Lechi lach.
Lechi lach, to a place that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing. Lechi lach, Lechi lach, and I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. Besimchat chaim, and you shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Ya'amod, 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 habachur habar mitzvah, David Yosef ben Simcha Eliezer ben Malka Tema, Shishi Chazak.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarah. Baruch Adonai Hamvarah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Vezot lihuda v'yama shema Adonai kol Yehuda ve'el amo tivina yatav rav lo ve'ezer yitara tiyeh ulevi amar tumecha ve'urecha le'ish hasidecha asher nisito b'masa terivehu almei meriva almei le'aviv u'limo lo re'itiv ve'et echav lo hikir ve'et banav lo yata ki shamru imratecha uvritecha yinsoro. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Aiden, you're officially a Bar Mitzvah. Some more applause for you, some more hugs and kisses from Mom and Dad. Mazel Tov. And we're going to ask your parents just to help address the Torah for us as we please rise V'zot HaTorah.
Vezot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei Bnei Yisrael al pi yado
same pod or different pod?
For the prayer for your country.
Yeah.
Different pod.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're gonna have Aiden, you're gonna go down to your seat. And we've got the aunts, uncles, and cousins. You guys can come up in mass or stay where you're at, whatever makes you more comfortable. We're on page 332. 332. Yeah, with the mask on, that's sure. We're gonna stay standing though. Prayer for our country. We need all the prayers we can get. Okay guys, top of the page. 1, 2, 3.
Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessings upon our country and upon the leaders of our nation and of our communities. Inspire all who lead and serve to conduct their affairs honorably. May peace and security, happiness and prosperity, right and freedom abide among us. Unite the inhabitants of our country, of all backgrounds and creeds, so that we may banish hatred and bigotry, safeguard our noblest ideals, and preserve those institutions which nurture liberty. May this land under your providence be an influence for good throughout the world, helping to unite all peoples in peace and freedom, and bringing closer to fulfillment the visions of your prophets. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. For the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness calm and confidence forever.
Amen. All right, you guys can blow some kisses to your nephew and cousin, Mazel Tov. Let you go back to your seats. As Cantor shares with us Israel's Anthem of Hope, page 783, Hatikva.
Kol hod balevav hanima nefesh Yehudi homiya ulefate mizrach kadima Ain letzion Sophia Od lo tikvatenu Hatikva bat shnot alpayim Liyotam chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim Liyotam chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim.
So David, if I can ask you to come and take the tour for us, we'll have your family line up on the floor in front of us. So we've got virtually grandparents, Vivian and Stephen are here. And we got Jake and Rachel's online. So the virtual, you got to kind of reach out with your hands as you kind of passing tour from generation to generation. Every individual, a vital link in a chain of tradition and love. Okay, we're gonna have you do it down here in front of the floor, though. Okay?
Over here?
Yeah, down here. Okay. Otherwise, I get in trouble with the state. So sorry.
Okay, over here.
Right on the floor. David, you'll put the tour on your shoulder. You're gonna take it down to the floor. Okay.
Line up in the
Okay, but face the cameras because we want people to see. Every individual is a vital link in our chain of tradition and love. L'dor v'dor.
Kedushatcha nagdi
life to those that cling to it. Blessed are they who uphold it, and let us say, Amen. So Aiden, we'll have you come back to the Torah table, lead us in our prayer, Eitz Chaim, page 346.
Eitz Chaim hi mamazikim ba betom echa merusha zerach echa zarhei noam bechol netivotecha shalom Ashivenu Adonai Elecha Nashuva Adish Ameinu
You can be seated for a moment as Aiden leads us Hatzi Kaddish. We're on page 354.
Yekada v'yekadash shmei raga
Amen.
Be'alma divra hirute ve'amlich malhute ve'yechon u'vyonechon u'chayetecho be'it Yisrael ba'agala ba'agala u'vizman chaviv ve'yimeru Vayed Raman, Vayed Naseh, Vayed Hadar, Vayed Ale, Vayed Halal, Shmei Kudasham, Let Elah Min Kol Birata, Vishirata, Tushechata, V'nefemata, Damiran Be'alma,
I'll ask you again, please rise and vote Imahot, page 357.
Yechalkel Ha'id V'chata Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagedol Hagibor Hanora El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim Ekonei Hakol Ezacher Nastei Avot V'imahot Umevi Goel B'nei Mehem Mema Shem Obeavcha Melech Ozer Fukeh Adonai Magen Avraham Ufukeh Sarah Ata Gibor Le'olam Amai Mechayim Et Tzimata Rav Lechoshia Mashiv Harula Mari Hagashem Mechalkel Ayim Behesed Mechayim Etim Berahamim Rabim Somech Nofrim Perfect Olim U'Matir Asurim U'Kayem Emunatav Yishenei Afar Michamoha Ba'adiros U'Midomeh Elech Nemiz U'Chayei U'Matmiya Yeshua
Amen. You may be seated. Throughout all generations. We will declare God's greatness to all eternity and proclaim God's holiness. L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador naki kalacha. L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador naki kalacha. Ola netza netzahim. Ola netza netzahim. Kirushaha kirushaha naktish. Ola netza netzahim. Ola netza netzahim. Kirushaha kirushaha naktish. L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador naki kalacha. L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador naki kalacha. V'shivchacha Elohim yihinu lo yamush le'olam le'olam va'ed. Ki el melech gadol gadol v'kadosh gadol v'kadosh atah. L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador naki kalacha. L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador.
L'ador v'ador naki kalacha. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen. The bottom, page 398. Maker of peace, grant peace to us, to the household of Israel, to people everywhere, and let us say, Amen. Oseh Shalom.
Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'alta o Yisrael, ve'yinu amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Page 400, Eik Eloheinu.
Eik Eloheinu, Eik Adomeinu, Eik Malkeinu, Eik Moshienu, Mi Eloheinu, Mi Adoneinu, Mi Malkeinu, Mi Moshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adoneinu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adoneinu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adoneinu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shetiru, Avoteinu, Lefanecha Asani. We rise, Elenu, page 402. Aleinu, L'shabeya La'adon HaKol, La'tetz Gedula Le'oser Bereshit, served. Elo Samanim, Kinishos Madama, Shelo Samakinu Kahem, Lego Ralinu, Kevohamana, Bahanaf Nukorim, Unishafamim Rumoti, Lishnei Melech, Alpei Malachim, Akatalosh, Baruchu, Shehunot Teshamayim, Yosef Haaretz, Umashar Yikra, Hashemayim Dimaha, Ushvi Natuzo, Ushvi Natuzo, Begad Emeroni, Hu Elohim Ero, Emet Malkeinu, Lefesulato, Kakatu, Betorata, Be'adata Hayom, Be'adata Hayom, Hashirota, Elevavecha, Ki Adonai, Hu Elohim, Hashamayim Bimaha, Be'al Haaretz, Be'al Haaretz, B'Yitachad, Enod, Enod,
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יראה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Aiden, I'll let you return back to your family. Anyone in mourning observing yard site, please remain standing. Otherwise, you may be seated. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 410 as we celebrate this day of Simcha, day of joy with Aiden and the family. Recall with love and affection the spirits of all loved ones whose presence we feel today. Yivkadal v'yivkadash shemei rabbah. V'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechan v'yomechan v'chayei d'kol beit Yisrael. V'galah v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabbam v'rach le'lam me'amaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipahar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'elah mikol berchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata d'amiram v'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'rumav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. The memories of our loved ones should eternally be for a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Aiden, how you feeling? You should feel great. Wasn't he wonderful, everyone? Yashar Koach, beautiful. A little easier in here than on Zoom, though, right? Okay, good. So, Aiden, I wish I could actually hand these to you personally, but I feel so blessed to celebrate with you. It's always a little bit bittersweet when it's our youngest. But then we have future Simchas, no pressure on you. How old did you say you are? No, I'm just kidding. Your brother looks like his eyes are puffing out here. Aiden, we got a few gifts from our Temple Sisterhood, the Kiddush Cup, which we know you'll use on festivals and on holidays. We've got your Bar Mitzvah certificate. You guys have been to enough Bar Mitzvahs over the years to know that I tell you to pull that out of your wallet anytime you need it, proof of Bar Mitzvah. And finally, and most importantly, this is your birthright certificate. That's your free trip to Israel beginning age 18 till 32. Did you get a chance to go on birthright yet? All right, so wait till he's 18. Take your brother. Did your sister go yet? Have you had a chance to go? No? All right, the three of you will go, all right? So I just actually was in touch with Birthright. They're hoping to resume trips in the summer with COVID-19 parameters, so God willing, that'll be able to. Did you get to go? 2 thumbs up? 3 thumbs up. Okay, great. There you go. So did you cash your certificate? Okay, good. You got to get your free $250 so in terms of that. Aiden, I spoke last night at Shmini Atzeret, Zaman Simchatenu. This is the time of our great joy. We have the 7 days of Sukkot. I know you're feeling special interest in the fact that all faiths come. We worship the God. We're all standing at the Holy Mountain. Each of us in our own special way. We're giving the offering. But after Sukkot, the according to tradition, the other nations left, but we kind of lingered. We stayed with each other. We had our special day of assembly, which was private. It was intimate. So I think really Zaman Sukkotenu, to be able to have your Bar Mitzvah as we're kind of ending Shmini Atzeret is perfect. So thank you for that. But tonight, as you're celebrating Bar Mitzvah, it really is the ultimate message of what is a Bar Mitzvah, because we have Simchas Torah, the joy of the Torah. So we finish reading the Torah. You read the end of the Torah. Right, so tonight we actually read again. If you want to stay a couple hours, you could do it with me again online. No, I'm not going to do that to you, okay? Right, but we would read what you read today, finishing the Torah, but then what do we do right away on Simchas Torah? We go right back to the beginning, right? And that really is the message, I think, for a Bar Mitzvah, right? It's a beginning, it's not an end, right? You reach a new stage in your Jewish life, because now you are religiously responsible for your own behavior. Okay, before mom and dad had to tell you everything, now they're actually supposed to go, you know what? We've taught you, you're supposed to be able to make decisions. Now, you still can whisper in his ear, it's not such a terrible thing for a little bit of guidance. But that's what I want for you. Simchas Torah, right? The joy of the Torah. Keep learning, keep studying, stay engaged. And I think it's going to be wonderful blessings moving forward. So thank you again for sharing the Simcha. I'm going to invite you to come back up with mom and dad. They're going to share a few words with you, okay? Mazel tov.
David and I would like to thank everyone for attending today in person and remotely. We live in strange and difficult times, and we are appreciative of everyone for taking time today to share this special moment with us. We would like to thank Rabbi Mitch and Cantor Sandy for all of their guidance and support throughout the unusual planning and organization for this occasion. We would also like to thank Ezra for all of his time and hard work with Aiden over the past few months to prepare him for this day. Aiden, we are so proud of you. We know how hard you worked to get ready for this moment. Dad and I have been thinking about this speech and deciding what words best describe you. We both agree that you are mature beyond your years, that you are responsible, diligent, and thoughtful. You always work hard in everything that you do. You care very much about the outcome and always want to succeed. Sometimes it takes a while to succeed in the way we want, but how we do that is by recognizing the mistakes that we make and learning from them going forward. You take your academics very seriously. We always tell you that as long as you do your best, then that is what matters. You diligently practice all of your basketball skills to constantly improve. You never get intimidated and rarely frustrated. Regardless of the outcome of the game, you always demonstrate good sportsmanship and are a team player on and off the court. Aiden, becoming a Bar Mitzvah is not only about turning 13 and having a celebration, but in the Jewish religion, it marks the beginning of adulthood. This means harnessing this wisdom and maturity to assist others, and in turn, helping yourself. The decisions that you make in your life affect and impact those around you. They can be small differences in people's lives, or sometimes of more consequence. Last year, we participated in Midnight Run, along with some other members of the congregation. It was truly a unique experience for us to help feed and clothe the homeless people in person, not just donating money to a cause. When we got to our first location, we were a little nervous about how we would be received. After a few minutes integrating with the homeless and realizing how appreciative they all were for just the smallest gift in conversation. It was obvious to us how it became so natural for you to be considerate of others. You had this big smile on your face and you couldn't wait to get to the next stop. All you wanted to do was keep helping all these people. The next day, when we got up, it was raining, and you thought about the nice people that we met and helped the night before. Immediately you asked us when we can do it again. We saw in your face how much you genuinely cared and the natural empathy you had for those less fortunate than yourself. We now live in complicated and uncertain times. However, you very rarely complain and are always searching for the best version of yourself. You're unafraid to take on new challenges and are also always looking to not only better yourself, but also those around you. Life is not a straight line and can be very challenging and risky at times. Taking risks can be a good thing, but the one risk that you should never take is the risk of doing nothing. Keep taking risks. Sometimes you may fall down, but then get right back up. Dad and I want you to take all that you have learned with you on your life's journey. It's okay to be afraid at times, but don't let that stop you. You have proven to us that you can do anything you put your mind to. We love you very much. We are so proud of what you have accomplished, and we know the best is yet to come.
Give me a clap. Thank you, beautiful. So we're going to ask your mom and dad and your grandparents and Jake to come back up. We're going to lift up a tallis over Aiden's head. We'll ask you to please rise as the tallis is lifted, a symbol that God's sheltering presence should always protect Aiden, and he should always be granted happiness and health and peace. And let us say, Amen. We respond to these ancient words, can you hear it, son? It should be God's will. Sabbath service. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bihi Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Hag
Shabbat Shalom,
Sameach.
Chag Sameach,